right, it is still Ben Kalu's mandate. Let's take the final question, and we throw the lines open today on the program. It's about a court case involving you, although we have to be very careful so that it won't lead to sub judice contempt. But I would like you to address this because it says your supporters, your fans, and your constituents are worried. The High Court sitting in Umuahia adjourned till tomorrow, 4th of August, the case bordering on primary and secondary schools certificate forgery brought against you by a chieftain of your party. And I would like you to address that. Should they worry?
Thank you. No, Michael. You know the provision of the law is subjudicial to begin to discuss issues that are before the courts. It has been before the court for a very long time. It's only that people are hearing about it now. It started after the election,
That's in 2019.
I won the election. Yeah, I won the election. Went through tribunal 1, went through appeal 1, and the same opponent of mine, we have him on tape, where he was discussing on terms for this constituent of mine who actually wanted to contest for House of Assembly. At the time, he wanted to be a candidate by all means, and it's not in my hand. And he believed it was in my hand to make him a candidate of the party for House of Assembly. But as you know, congresses are done by the people, and they chose the former deputy minority leader of the House, Solomon Alkobo, in place of him and other people. And he became very angry and told me he was going to deal with me. So dealing with me is going to court with pre-election matter on my change of name. It is my right to change my name. It is my right. If the laws did not say you should not change your name, and all the processes we have followed, so to say I did not go to central school and secondary school is very laughable, because I didn't go to school in Toronto. I went to school in Bendon, and I'm not too old that my teachers have all died. My teachers are there, and they are listening to this program, and some of them have called me as well. I went to Bendon Central School, and with a stepfather that wanted me to answer his name at that point. So when I grew up, I said, no, I can't bear your name. I have to bear my own father's name. And I changed all my document to my father's name. And that is what it is. And it's contested it. Right. It had been gazetted, both here in Nigeria and also in the country I lived in before. They were notified that it was gazetted. And the Supreme Court also acknowledged it when I was called to bar. When I came back to the country to be called to bar, Supreme Court listed me on the roll as Benjamin Okezie Kalu. But when I was in the university, I was answering Osisiok. So my circumstance is of such that I decided to have my biological father's name, and that is what I'm having now. And all the processes were followed. So secondary school was in Bende Central School, Bende Secondary Grammar School for first 2 years, and then I went to Wilcox, Aba, to complete my secondary school. And my colleagues are alive, and they are listening to this program, and they saw that I was an intelligent student when I was at school. I wasn't a dullard, and they are still my friends till date. My teachers are still there. So, but it's a distraction that has been sponsored by my opponent. They need to know that we know who is funding it. My opponent has refused to give up that he lost election. I lost election 2 times, and I didn't take my opponent to court. Honorable Nenu KJ, I did not take her to court. First time, second time. The spirit of sportsmanship, you see, when you lose, you wait and you gather experience. And I thank God that I was able to wait and I was able to gather experience. And that is why what I could have achieved in donkey years in the parliament, I'm achieving in 2 years. And the speed that God is giving to what I'm achieving is just to compensate for the time I patiently waited. So my advice to them is to wait. If you don't get it in primary election, wait.
All
You will
right.
see that in my book, my experiences. Wait and gather more experience. Learn from those leaders. You see all these people you see and you neglect and you want to bully. These leaders have a wealth of experience. When you go close to them, you learn a lot. But by the time the opportunity is now given to you, you'll be able to accept, because I won't be here for too long. If you want me to be a House of Rock member forever, then it is you're underdeveloping me. I want to go from one level to the other, or join my business, go back to my business. So, but we should leave it for the court to discuss. I will not want this to be something that will be a dragon. If the process was followed, the court will find that out. If the process was not followed, the court. But I remain one and the same person that changed his name. I changed my name to the name I'm having now, and I'm happy I changed to my biological father's name, and I have no regrets. And let the court take their decision. But do I sound like somebody who didn't go to primary school or secondary school? Is it not laughable for somebody to say I didn't go to primary school?
We need to get.
I forged that, man.
We need to get reactions.
All right, so let's take the questions.